Welcome to Science and Technology Briefing. The content of the briefing includes live markets house prices fall for 8th month in a row amid high mortgage rates, latest updates. Glut of wild salmon creates stink in Norway and Finland. France's Planisware IPO targets price range of 16 to 18 euros per share. Crypto exchange Coinbase obtains monetary authority of Singapore license. China's USO Industrial Fund to launch $274 million new secondary fund. Live markets house prices fall for 8th month in a row amid high mortgage rates, latest updates. Telegraph. UK house prices fell by 5.3% in September compared to the same month last year, marking the 8th consecutive month of decline, according to Nationwide's house price index. The decline matches August's figure, which was the largest annual drop since 2009. However, prices did not fall compared to August, remaining unchanged. The market was given some respite by the Bank of England's decision to keep interest rates steady at 5.25%, the first time in nearly 2 years. The decline in house prices was seen across all regions of the UK, with the southwest being the worst affected. The region saw a quarterly fall of 6.3%, while southern England as a whole experienced a collective decline of 4.8%. Northern England saw prices drop by 3.9%. The best performing region was Northern Ireland, with a modest annual fall of 1.8%. Mortgage brokers have reported a slowdown in the housing market, with falling prices and unaffordable mortgage rates causing paralysis in the market. However, there are signs of a pickup in activity following the Bank of England's decision to hold interest rates steady. The stabilization of house prices in September was unexpected, and some analysts believe that prices will continue to fall in the coming months. Glut of wild salmon creates stink in Norway and Finland. The Guardian. Norway and Finland are facing an invasion of Pacific pink salmon, an invasive species that is threatening local Atlantic salmon populations. The pink salmon were introduced to the Kola Peninsula in Russia in the 1950s and have since spread westwards. Climate change has caused a dramatic increase in pink salmon numbers in the North Atlantic, leading to large numbers of dead and rotting fish in rivers such as the Tana, which is renowned for its pristine waters. The invasive species has prompted an emergency response from both Norway and Finland, with measures including subsidized fishing, the use of facial recognition technology to block pink salmon, and the installation of fences and floating net traps to prevent the fish from swimming upstream. However, the operation has not been entirely successful, and researchers estimate that several million pink salmon could invade Finland in the coming years. There are concerns that the pink salmon could carry pathogens that could infect Atlantic salmon populations or outcompete them for food and habitat. The ecological impact of the pink salmon invasion is still largely unknown, but there are fears that decaying fish could reduce oxygen levels in the water and release unknown nutrients into the river and riverbank soil. Both Norway and Finland are working to develop strategies to deal with the invasive species, including using pink salmon as a sustainable food source and implementing new rules to protect local ecosystems. France's Planisware IPO targets price range of 16 to 18 euros per share. Reuters. Planisware, a French software company, has launched an initial public offering, IPO, in a bid to become a leading provider of multi-specialist project management solutions. The company hopes to raise €241 million, $255 million, from the sale of 15.1 million shares priced between €16 and €18 each. The pricing of the offering is expected to take place on October 11. Crypto exchange Coinbase obtains monetary authority of Singapore license. Reuters. Coinbase Singapore has received a major payment institution, MPI, license from the Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS. This license allows Coinbase to offer digital payment token services to both individuals and institutions in Singapore. China's USO Industrial Fund to launch $274 million new secondary fund. Nikkei Asia. China's USO Industrial Fund is planning to launch a 2 billion Chinese yuan, $274.2 million, secondary fund. The fund will help the firm speed up investments in high-quality assets, optimize asset allocations, and improve capital recovery from fund investments. Secondary funds buy stakes in private equity funds from existing investors who want to exit. The move comes as China's PE secondary market is maturing, with a record 405 PE secondary deals worth a combined 102.1 billion Chinese yuan completed in 2022, a 52.9% YOY increase, according to Zerone. USO Industrial Fund specializes in fund of funds investments, and its secondary fund strategy focuses on technology, healthcare, and consumption sectors. Hong Kong University students say volunteering at Asian Games an honor. South China Morning Post. 27 university students from Hong Kong had the opportunity to volunteer at the Hangzhou Olympic Sports Center Tennis Center during the Asian Games. The students were chosen by the Liaison Office of the Central People's Government and went through extensive preparation before the Games. They learned about tennis rules and interpersonal communication and underwent online training and testing. The volunteers had the chance to experience the Games up close and were impressed by the opening ceremony and the efforts made to protect the environment. They also faced challenges, such as explaining the rules of tennis to spectators. Overall, the students had a positive experience and created unforgettable memories. Rolls-Royce shortlisted as UK seeks small nuclear plant developers. Reuters. Rolls-Royce has passed the first stage of a UK government competition to select developers of small modular nuclear reactors, SMRs. Rolls-Royce is the only company whose SMR technology is under review by European regulators. SMRs can be built more quickly and for less cost than large-scale reactors. The selected companies will start negotiations with the government, with a final decision expected in 2029. Asset management, the hedge fund bet that's scaring regulators. Financial Times. Hedge funds have been using the basis trade on the $25 trillion U.S. government bond market, which involves selling futures and buying bonds, to magnify their bets that the price gap between the two will close. The Bank for International Settlements, BIS, a convening body for central banks, and U.S. Federal Reserve researchers have warned that this rapid buildup in hedge fund bets poses a financial stability vulnerability and the potential to dislocate trading. The U.S. Treasury market underpins the global financial system, and the yield on federal government debt is the benchmark for every asset class. The Fed's interventions in the Treasury market in 2019 and 2020 led to a belief that the central bank will intervene in any instance of extreme market instability, implicitly backstopping speculative trading. Hello, viewers. I am Dr. Hex, your resident observer from the 6 dimensions. Today, we have quite an interesting mix of news to discuss. From falling house prices in the UK to an invasion of pink salmon in Norway and Finland, and even a hedge fund bet that's scaring regulators, there's a lot to dive into. So, let's get started. Starting off with the housing market in the UK, it seems like the decline in house prices is showing no signs of stopping. This marks the 8th consecutive month of decline, with the southwest being the worst affected. However, there was some respite with the Bank of England's decision to keep interest rates steady. But will this be enough to stabilize the market? Only time will tell. Now, let's talk about the invasion of pink salmon in Norway and Finland. These invasive species are wreaking havoc on the local Atlantic salmon populations, and the authorities are scrambling to find a solution. Measures such as subsidized fishing and the use of facial recognition technology have been implemented, but the invasion remains a major concern. Who knew that fish could cause such a stink? Moving on to the world of finance, we have Planisware, a French software company, launching an IPO to become a leading provider of project management solutions. They're aiming to raise a whopping €241 million. Meanwhile, Coinbase Singapore has obtained a license from the Monetary Authority of Singapore, allowing them to offer digital payment token services. Looks like the crypto world is expanding its reach. In China, Yueshou Industrial Fund is planning to launch a secondary fund to speed up investments in high-quality assets. This comes as China's PE secondary market is maturing, with a record number of deals being completed. And in Hong Kong, university students had the opportunity to volunteer at the Asian Games, creating unforgettable memories and gaining valuable experiences. Lastly, we have Rolls-Royce making headlines as it passes the first stage of the UK government's competition to develop small modular nuclear reactors. This could be a game-changer for the energy industry, with the potential for quicker and more cost-effective nuclear power plants. But let's not forget the concerns that regulators have regarding hedge funds and their basis trade on the U.S. government bond market. Is this a ticking time bomb for financial stability? Time will tell. Well, that wraps up our news for today. Remember, folks, the world is full of surprises, whether it's falling house prices, invading fish, or risky hedge fund bets. Stay tuned for more updates from the 6 dimensions, and now it's time for your thoughts and questions. What do you make of these news stories? I'm all ears. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6do Brief via email.